Hello, guys. How's everyone? Gonna wait a little bit until 8 for anyone else to join, and it's gonna be a simple lecture today. Read a little more about the candlesticks. I found that a lot of people had trouble or don't know how to read it properly. So I'm just gonna go through the basics and how to read the candlesticks and kind of figure out how to read when we are on a level a little better, how to get in what the candlestick it's telling us when we mix it with other indicators and with our levels. So the idea of the candlestick is that they're going to help us be a confirmation of what's happening on the bigger time frame. So that's why I wanted to, and we have done these classes before, but doing the basic one, it's really important because it's gonna help you to see it a different way next, like tomorrow, or if you go through your review of your charts, see which candles mean that we are in a change of a trend. For me, it's not that important if you learn the names or how they're called or anything like that. It's just that you learn how to see them, and you can read what they say. So see what else do we got here. And I'll start at 8 o'clock to make it on time for everyone who's here. Thank you for being on time. Any questions before we start with the candlesticks? Anyone having trouble with the candlesticks?
I'm just looking forward to learning. Like today, I made a bunch of trades and I was assuming that they were going, not assuming, but based off of what I was trying to chart, I thought they were going one direction. Every single freaking one went the opposite direction. So I'm obviously missing something. So hopefully I can pick something out of this training.
Great. Bobby, you were trying to play puts today?
I was actually doing a mix of both. I was doing puts and calls. Like my very first trade, I ended up winning. And then I did some more trades. And then every one thereafter just failed. It sucked.
Well, that's I mean, as an example, that's really good. That happens because that means that something was not working, and repeatedly you try to do the same thing. You were trying to search for the same trend, and repeatedly, for some reason, it didn't work. So it's really, in a certain way, it's interesting to go through those trades and see what you were looking at that chart, because a bunch of people probably happen the same, like in one time or the other. So let's start with the fundamentals of candlesticks, and I'll go back to you, and you let me know which names you had trouble with, and we can search to see what happened today and what the trend told us. What about that? Will you be okay
Perfect.
sharing the ones that you had trouble with?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, guys. I'm gonna start with the normal. As I said, my idea with this very basic lectures is sometimes we want to trade. I find that a lot of people sit down in front of the computer. They have like 2 monitors, they have 3 monitors, they have all the indicators and they
I don't
have
remember where
everything,
he's from.
and they don't know how to read the candles. And like you see the green going up, the red going down, but we need to be able to identify what the trade it's telling us, and that's gonna help us to see when we can get in, if it's a good moment to jump into a move, and it's really important, and I'm gonna repeat this through the session. Candlesticks by itself, it's not enough to be ready to trade. You need to have your levels and you have to be your indicator. So this is, as I said, candlestick 101. Everyone should know and should see the trades this way. How do you read a candlestick? The candlesticks only have 4 parts. They have a open, a close, a high, and a low. That's the only thing that you need to know.
There's those
One
mules. They fight.
important thing that you always need to realize when you're trading is every green candle that you will trade is going to open on the bottom and it's going to close at the top. That's the direction. That's why there is an arrow going up.
And
Every candle opens at the bottom and then open
Pro-
at the bottom. I'm gonna mute everyone and I will unmute everyone when we start doing the questions, right? So no one's gonna be,
I'll let you know all my secrets.
yeah. So everyone's muted right now. Sorry, guys. So this is the direction that we need to see every time that we're trying to jump into a trade. That's why when we trade and when you hear Flips saying it, River saying it, Toasty, like, I'm gonna wait for the next candle. We don't trade like when the candle is opening, because this candle tells us a story. What happened to this candle? This candle opened here, it went down, there was not enough pressure to go down, it went all the way up this high, and it wasn't enough buying pressure to stay here. And then when it closed, let's say that this was a 5-minute candle, it jumped to the next one. And let's say that the next one was this. Every red candle is going to open at the top and it's going to close at the bottom. Every red candle. So what this candle is telling us is they tried to push the price, like bulls tried to push the price this way. It didn't work. It went completely down. It reached this level. And then buyers have stepped in and they say, no, we're not going to go this low. We're going to get you until here. And here we jump to the next one. So this is something that you need to see, and we're going to see it on the charts. Like every time that we see a green candle, you have to see where, like, what the size of the body was, where it jumped to the next one. If it was a red one, what's the size of the body? It had a longer wick or not? That's super, super important. And sometimes we sit in front of the computer with, thousands of charts and indicators, and we don't know which way the flow of the candles are going. So that's why I wanted to start with basics. Parts of a candle, and do you know how the body works? The body, like, depending on the size of the body, if you see a candle that it has no wick, that's super bullish candle. Buyers are completely in control. If you see a candle, as we see like this one, it means that doesn't have a bottom candle, a wick. What it says, the buyers stepped in strong control, try to reach and stay at this price, but the bulls stepped in and kind of like make the price go a little lower, and that was the price rejection where we happened. So that's why this is the open and this is the close. But we always have to be aware of which level they try to reach. So that's super important. Same thing. This is how they to read the candlesticks. Now, when you see a normal candlestick with a wick, when you see this size of a body, the only thing that happened is we open here. They try to reach this price at this level, and buyers stepped in and they say, nope, we're not gonna let you. This is the price that you're gonna get. And that's where we got. So we got in, tried to go all the way here, and we jumped always from left to right to the next one from bottom to top. So the buyers were, even though it's super weak, it's gonna be green just because it opened at the bottom and it closed at the top. So sometimes it's confusing that we'll see the same shape of a candle on a bullish trade, on a bearish trade, and the only difference is that we started at the top and it closed at the bottom. So that's how you see, that's why the color will change. Open, close, and this is the high, and then you will see on the red ones, you will see that it's completely the opposite, but sometimes it gets confusing that you see a big wick and you say like, but why is it red? Why is it green? I mean, it's different. So this is just variation of the candles. You see how the like long body means that there's a lot of strength on the buying side, tiny wicks, gotta pay attention to these wicks all the time, but the body, it's very, very important. If you see a huge body, that you know that it's gonna be a bullish trend. And also you have to always see when you see the next candle and the next candle, if you have like 3 green candles opening like that, you know that that's a strong bullish momentum happening. If you have a small wick like this, what it means is all the time it opened at the bottom, it closed here, so it opened at the bottom, try to go down, they try to go all the way up to this price here, and buyers didn't find enough buyers to stay up here, and the sellers or bulls didn't or the bears didn't find enough sellers to stay here. So it was like this is sort of a neutral, even though it's green. Yeah, they try to fight for it, and here it's a strong bullish moment. Bull, like, well, remember that every time we stepped in, the bull bears the sellers try to go to this low here. All the buyers stepped in, pulled it all the way, and it was a strong close on this candle because we don't even have a wick. So buyers were in control right here. So this is just a way, as I said, I don't care about the names, and we'll see the names, but I just need you to be aware that when you see the bodies of the candles and the green candles, always gonna open on the bottom and they're gonna close at the top. And if you see a huge wick and no wick on top, that's a strong bullish candle. If you see a big candle like this, that's a strong bullish candle. This is neutral, sort of. We can reach here to a red one and then switch, but these sort of images, you need to save them in your mind, and every time that you see that, when you are live trading, depending on the time frame that you're trading, you will see this and you'll see, okay, this plus this one afterward, we'll see that this is a strong change in the pattern, and it's going to be really helpful once we add it with the indicators and the levels, and we'll see that. Same thing with the bearish candles. You see what happened to these candles? These candles open at the top. They try to go higher here. The bullish guys not happen, and the bears smack the prices completely down. So what happened here? This is a super strong selling momentum or bearish candle, super strong. So it's very easy to distinguish this from this. And if you have a tiny wick, that means that the control is on the downside. This one is the same. You see that this and this are kind of the same. The only difference between this and this is that this one open at the bottom and close at the top, and this one open at the top and close at the bottom. So that's a easy way to get used to how to read and see all these candles. Same here with when we see these wicks, it can be confusing that sometimes we see a wick the same like a hammer or a shooting star, and it doesn't matter the name. You will see that, hey, why this is green? The only difference is this one started here and it ended here. So it started here, the bulls stepped in, tried to pull the price all the way here, and the bears say, no, we're gonna go here, and they settle to close the candle here. So every time we add all of this, we now read the pattern. I like to use the sort of the compared with the reading music. When you see all the notes, you start like reading the music. So we need to know how to read one after the other one to see where we're going. This is a great example to see what happened when we change the time frame. What happened when we change the time frame? In 1 hour, we'll see this is 1 hour candle, this is another 1 hour candle. So we will go from this one will open here, we close here, and then this next one will be a huge bearish candle that it opens here, and then it closed right down here. So sometimes it gets confusing when we jump to another time frame and then the candles change and we're like, hey, what happened to the candle that I had? So this is an example of why that happens. If we add this plus this is the change that we should be in 2 hours. Like we started here, we went here, and then we switched to the bearish candle and way all the way down here. So the difference of that candle is what the 2 hours is going to show, and it will look like this. So all this price was invalidated by the red candle, and this is the only thing that it's important for the next one. That's why you see this candle. So I hope that makes enough sense, but it's just sometimes it gets confusing when we jump from 2 minutes, 5 minutes, then an hour, and then you see why my candles are all changing. So you'll be able to identify what's happening when this changes. All right, great. So these are some samples that I took from internet, like, because then I like to go to our live charts and then we'll see it. But this is just an example of how in the 1 hour, you see these changes here. This is 1 hour going down, that it's bearish, 1 hour bullish, 1 hour bearish, 1 hour bullish. And now you're just gonna see how they difference when you see it on the 2 hours. In the 2 hours, look, it's a bearish candle, but a red candle with a huge wick, and then we have the same green candle with a huge wick. The difference that we have is this one was an engulfing bearish candle, and this is an engulfing bullish candle. And that's what's going to give us the color, because we started one at the top and it closed at the bottom, and this next one started at the bottom and we closed at top. And this change, as you can see here, even though it was a red, it was a change on direction. It was a change of trend. So this is our next one. You will take a trade right here and you'll say, and you'll think, oh, we're bullish. Look, we have a huge green candle, engulfing candle here. Then we have tiny candles going all the way until this one here, that it's telling me that even though it's a green candle, this wick here, it's revealing a little bit of weakness. And then the next ones are revealing weakness and weakness. So you have to be really careful when you see this, because then look at what happened, rejected, because you see the bodies being a little weaker on the downside, and then rejection. So we got to be careful on how do we mix what we are reading with our levels. Same thing here, but now we have a bearish sample. You see how we have a candle here that it's pretty bearish. It's telling me now we open the second candle again. It was a bearish candle, strong bearish momentum. We get here, we got somewhere here, and then when we're here, we say, oh, I'm going to leave runners because we're going to keep going down. And then we have a reversal. And this little candle here, the next one that was in the middle is the one that is telling us that it's a change of the trend. It was a neutral candle, and then we open green, we try to go higher, and then we have a huge body candle, and we switch and we go up. So we're going to see how this works a little more on today's charts, but it's samples on how you can be faked out and how you can kind of prevent that if you are in a position and you try to leave runners and you start reading this candle action, you can jump to another one. So this is what happened with the engulfing candles. Engulfing only means that it's bigger than the previous one. So when we have a bullish engulfing candle, that means that the body of the green one, it's higher or bigger than the body of the previous red candle. So you see that this is a strong move on the bull side. And then when we have a bearish pattern, we have the bearish candle being a lot bigger than the bull side. So tiny things that we might see as, not really important, but when we are reading the charts, it's telling us a story. So it's really important. Again, these are the names of the candles. As I said, I don't care that much about the names of the candles. It's good to know them, but I rather that you know how to read them. So these are the green ones are called hammers because they open here and close at the top. And you do have to pay attention that the bears try to get the market or the price to this level here, but they were not able to. And it shouldn't start. It's on the way down, same idea, but just, normally it's a bearish candle because it opened here, it tried to go all the way up, it was invalidated, and then it went down, and then you go to the next one, and normally this will open on another red candle and start going down. So hammers on the way up, shooting stars on the way down. And then we have a fairly neutral candles. We have the dragonflies and the gravestones. What happened here? We opened right here, went up, went down, and we closed the candle exactly at the same spot that we opened. So there's no body, there's no move. So we got the dragonfly or the gravestone doji, same thing. We just started here and it went from one side to the other and nothing happened. So this, what you can see there, that it could be a trend reversal because the price tried to go all the way and nothing happened. Nothing here, nothing happened, but you have to pay attention for the next one. If we go either way, if it's going to be a continuation of that, neutral movement. And then we have the morning star. Normally the morning star, sort of a plus sign on top, nothing, like it's just a kind of a connection candle from bullish to bearish, and then bearish to bullish, but not real happening. It's not telling us anything. It's just telling us there's a change again. So once you see this on a top of a movement, you know that we might expect that it's going to start dropping. So if you're in a position and you see now any of this, you can identify that, and you got to be careful to set up your stop losses somewhere around these areas. Same here. When we go down, you need to know where to place your stop loss, so you don't want to have that reversal coming on the next candle and you lose your position. So that's really critical when we do that. We have the tweezers. Again, we see this a lot in reversing trends. We see a candle, it tries to go all the way down, it doesn't, it closed right here, and then we jump to the next candle that goes all the way down again, and then it switches. Remember, we enter at the top, try to went all the way down, close here, and we went here again, tried to go down, not happening, and then we closed at the top of this tweezer. So this means that this is the bottom. This might be a sort of a round chart like this, and we are again gaining some momentum on the way up. So we will expect having some green candles on the way up. Same in this one. We normally expect a change of direction and then a chart going sort of a concave like this, and then going to the way down. So these are, we see these ones a lot, and variations of these ones. So now, as I said, you cannot do it by itself only with the candles. You need to, when we add some other indicators like our EMAs, SMAs, or all your indicators, it will help you decide where there is when you see a bearish engulfing candle like this one, and you see the body of the green candle being engulfed by here, and it's touching your trend, you have now two confirmations that your trend is changing. And that's how you can see that, you know what, I'm taking my profits. Fuck it, I'm taking my profits, I'm gonna grab them right here, and that's it. Or if you see that this is, if you're still in your position, with that, or you can start a position right here. Imagine that you didn't jump into this call here, but you see the resistance happening, and you see like, now this is a engulfing candle. I see this breaking that trend, and I can grab, maybe you can scalp these couple of candles on the way down. So what I want to picture here is that the reading of the candles, adding with how our other indicators work, it really helps you to identify if should I keep being on display or should I go? And the same with the resistances. These are just our levels, plain levels that we have. And what I want to illustrate here is if we don't have our indicators, but we have our resistance, you see how these candles here are trying to, this one here, they're not trying to break. You see these big red candles, this one try to break, and then we slow down, wicks. So it's a strong resistance. This one try to break, and the bear says, no, you're not breaking this level, down, and then switch. So when you see these wicks by itself like that, be very aware, because that means that there is weakness. And sometimes we see them, but we don't know how to act on them. And now my idea is like, when you see these guys here, you're like, I can play puts here. This might be a good entry somewhere around this area, because they try once, they try twice, and the third time, nothing happening. It's making confident that it's not gonna break. Here's the same, but this is the puts are holding when sometimes we see trends that we're holding the 9 EMA, we're holding the 21 EMA, and you see that the candles touch and go. All of this could be a scalp that you're doing out of the 21. The 21 touches, you can grab calls here. When you see that we start breaking down, you're out. Boom. Then you grab calls again around here. And when you see when it's starting to break down, out. And then you can start doing the same thing when we have a trend. You can do it every time that we go and touch our indicators. But these candles, look at the wicks, how they showing you. We try to go lower. No, this candle jumped to the next one, and we open green, went down, and then green to the next one. And this is how you start going from one to the other and start reading which way we're going. That's pretty neat when you actually do it on your charts. And tomorrow when you go, or maybe later on, when you see and you zoom in on trades that you were making, and maybe you were playing puts and it was a going upward or anything, you will see and you will identify how the candles maybe were helping you, telling you the story, and you were not able to read it at the time. Same with the resistance. You see the tweezers here, tweezer not breaking that resistance, and then huge trend going down. So there are small samples. And as a summary, because this is fundamentals of the candle, and now we can see a little more, and we're gonna go to charts from today. The only things that you need to know is that a candle has an open, a high, a low, and a close. You need to know the green one, how it works, and the red one, where it closes. Easy. You have to know that the body of the candle, it's really important, because it's going to tell you how the strength of that movement at that time frame that you're reading, it's going to move. The wick and the body are relative to determine who is in control. So it's going to help you if you have a huge wick, you know that depending on which if it's up or down, you will know that the bears or the bulls are in control. So easy to know. And as I repeated at the beginning, trying to trade candlesticks by itself, it's really hard. So we try to help them with our levels and our indicators. So I'm gonna open the microphone right now, and I'm gonna see if anyone has any questions at the moment. You should be able to unmute yourself right now.
Empanada, this is Gail. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Gail. Good night.
Hello. So I'm looking at the wicks and I'm looking at the different graphs you've shared. Let's go back to the one you just had. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that one's cool. So the first wick there, the first candle, the small wick, long body.
This one.
Right. Within there, is there an entry point? or you can enter at any point of that wick?
Well, the idea of this is that you're gonna see a series of wicks. So the idea is like whatever wick you had before this one, when this one starts and you see that we go down and you see this momentum with a body like this, you will enter somewhere in this area.
Okay,
Because you will have maybe this one like this, because they try to go down, we switch up and we close here, and you see how strong we close. This will be a bullish close, and when we jump into here, we'll try to go down, and then you see this body that it's when you add this one plus this, it's an indicator, a confirmation that okay, now we're going up. Because sometimes what happens is, depending on how the next one goes, it can go down, and when it goes down, you will see a little red. But then
right.
when it switches, is when it starts going green, and that's when you want to make confirmation that we're going green, not that we're going down.
Okay,
So
and
that's
does it
when you
matter?
jump in.
Okay, does it matter if if we're looking at the 3-minute or 5-minute?
No, the difference is you're going to have more candles. So
Okay.
it's going to depend that I'm going to show you now in the samples. I'm going to go through some names today, and let's do that. Like, and we can do more questions on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I'm gonna share this screen right here. All right. So can you all see my
Yes.
pie chart?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you see that these are my pie chart in the 15 minutes today. So we're gonna read from the 15 minutes all the way to the 5 minutes what the story is telling us, and let's go to even the 1 hour. So this is what the candles in the 1 hour tell me about today. I had I draw this trend line from yesterday and Friday. I just grabbed the touch of my bigger trend line that I had, and I just need 2 points to make a line. So I draw this line until here, and I had no clue what happened. This all happened today pre-market. It touched and went up, and it grabbed my trend. But my trend came from the 1 hour and the 4 hours, this purple trend. So look how neat it respects the trend, even though I had no clue what was going to happen today. So this is 1 hour, and since we open on the pre-market, we have this is a strong sort of, we're holding here a bull kind of opening, and then look at how strong this bear candle is, and almost no wick, and it opened, tried to reach a little up, and it went completely down. And next hour we jumped here, tried to go down, we didn't. You see that when you see that you have this huge candle, but the next one doesn't follow through, you see that even though it was a lot of sellers here, this one it's telling me we're jumping in something that it's not that big. So when we go to the next one, look how strong this candle on the upside is. No wick, and offsets this move. And we have a new high. Then we have a little precaution here. We jumped, tried to go lower, nothing happened, and jump to the next one. Bears again, try to pull the price again down, almost to the same level. And the bears, and then the bulls grabbed it in and closed the candle here. And then we have this neutral one. This could be your neutral. One of the variations. Anyone remembers which variation is this one?
Gravestone?
Yeah. So you got this is sort of a neutral. Open here, try to go down, stay here, and we jump to the next one. Again, we try to go down and we close a little lower. So you will be doubtful here at the open that we might go down. And what happened? We went down, we tried to go up, you will see a green candle, but it never broke this level. It never broke this level on the overnight high. And it went all the way down here and switched to the next one. And then this is interesting because this is what you want to know how to read when it's happening. If we go here, look what happened on the next candle. We never broke this level here. We went down. So we know that all the green candles close at the top, correct? Yeah. So we open here, we saw a red candle, and on that hour, it went completely down. We left the wick, and then the body, that means that a lot of volume and start coming in for this move to go green here. And here, Gail, is where I say, when the next one open green, you see a tiny red, and then it open here, your entry, it's anywhere in this section here, on this candle, and you will graph this, which broke the high of the day. So this is a strong momentum high. You see where the top of the body, it's above all these candles. And then look where the next one started, right on top of that, and boom, we have that huge momentum pop. So, and look at everything that this is telling us. This is telling us we broke the high of the pre-market that we were not able before. In all these candles, we were not able, we broke it. Then this is my overnight high. I now sit this candle open on top of my overnight high. So what was resistance, it opened as a support. That's a beautiful bullish, indication. And we open here, and then normally this is my trend that is coming from the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and this is my level. So I told them, be careful with the 500. This is a place that I would trim probably, and then leave a runner somewhere until here, because when we switched to this one went all the way up here, green. It gave you time to sell if you were on the momentum sell, and then we got the switch of the trend and opening this one and start going down again. But you see how easy to see it when you have the chart, everything that the candle is telling me, and how I was able to read by having my overnight high. Now I know that this body broke, and that this is a confirmation that I can just jump in this one if I want. If I never jumped into this one, this is a confirmation here that I can jump to this and have this is 1 hour of trading that you could have been going all the way up until this one, which is, it was, I don't know, let's say that it was 20 more minutes going up, all of this. So you could have missed this one. You could have missed this one here, but this one here, it's a given. And now let's say how this looks in the 50 minutes. So you see how this is going to start getting more interesting when you see the 50 minutes. Look at here. The 50 minutes is going to separate in 4 different candles every hour. So look at this candle. I draw a little trend line when we open. I saw this candle rejecting. We never broke the overnight high. Let me, like this. This is the overnight high, not breaking it, not breaking it. This is my level. We went all the way up, down, and then I enter my trend right here. This is the trend that I draw from yesterday. So this is my entry level on a shorter time frame. I could have scalped here, and scalped here. Look at everything. That just because now we're in the 15 minutes. And all of this is what my first entry. Second entry, same one here. But now we have it, you see this candle here breaking the level that we were not able to pass. And the next candle, it's boom, opening up, 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 up. But when you grab something here, you gotta be really careful because we had this level here. So my RR here was not as good as maybe here or here, but I could have grabbed this one here. This one broke up, open above the level, and then I grabbed this. So this was actually what I traded. I trade this level here, and it made like $35 per contract. So you see how this is, it tells you where with you added on your trends and your levels, it helps you to decide, are we going up or are we going down? If this is a weak or a strong or a super strong movement on the way up. So it helps a lot on showing you how that works. And now I'm gonna jump to the same one, so then we can jump to Bobby's. I'm gonna jump to the 5 minutes. That's where our normal trading should happen all the time. And here we are. This is our 5 minutes. And same thing, look at the 5 minutes. How this is same story that it's telling me. Pre-market, we had a top on the pre-market that we drawn that this without knowing what was going to happen. But when we opened, again, we knew that we came down. We tried to go up. We resisted. I got my same trend line. Once I have 2 points, anywhere of those 2 points, I can draw a trend line. And I knew that we broke it here with this candle on the 5 minutes, super strong change. This was a reversal. You got this one is got here, up, down, nothing. So it was kind of like in between. And then the next one, if we read this candle here next to this one, we know there is a reversal. This is my opening channel, goes up, up, up. And then all of a sudden on this ones here, we break my overnight or my pre-market high. So this is a confirmation that I can go on and jump here. And then here, same thing. I wasn't feeling comfortable grabbing here, wasn't feeling comfortable here, but here we broke the level, stay above, and then again, boom, broke up. So you could have grabbed calls, any of these candles here, and just set up your stop loss anywhere on this, in the middle of this candle. And guarantee that this, in case we had a reversal, you were out, or grab this little trend here. And then if you missed all of this, you knew that you were here, and we tried to break this level with a weakness. Strong candle, red candle, again, weakness, and then we tried to get up and huge change on the trend, a reversal, and you could have jumped anywhere here, and then you have all your puts all the way to our level, either here or here. So I don't know if this visual helps you, but for me, it's like it's a aha moment. And like every time that when I learn how to see a little more this mix with my level and the trend, look how easy is to see. Oh, this is, you don't need to do anything. You're following the drawings. I know that I can jump right here into calls. I know that I can jump here into calls, and I know that I can jump here into calls. You don't need to see too much. Same here. You see 1, 2, 3. That when you see this rejection, I know that I can try. You know, we don't know. I mean, after the fact, it's always easy to see it, but the prediction that we're trying to make has a lot more sense when we see all this help that we have from our trends, from our indicators. And in this one, I'm not using this. Like if I use my, because that's my longer term. If I go into my shorter term chart, which is this one, when I have all my EMAs, you will see how we broke down the EMA, we stay above, and look at how we grab. This is the 9. Look how we serve the 9 beautifully, and we touched the 20, broke down, and then never saw the 20 again until the break. So once we pass here, the 20, the 9 over the 20 right here, it gave us a clear path all the way up until here. So if you like to play with the indicators, now you have indicators. This is 9, 20, 50. It's 21 actually. VWAP, and we have all levels. So it will give you a lot of visual help on. Look at if you go on the 2 minutes. How do you see all this? It tried, and of course we rejected. So after 4 of this, I will grab a put just in case, and then set up my stop loss 10% down and grab this move here. I'm gonna put it on the 5 minutes, which is what it should be normally. So any questions, guys? Now, Bobby, what was your
AMD.
AMD?
Yeah. And you going through the visual on the candles, that pretty much solidified like where I was making some of my mistakes.
Okay, that's something that is really important, because we all make these mistakes, and it can happen because we might be distracted, we might be like let's read it. I didn't play AMD today at all. I play JPM, I play XOM, and I play Meta at the open and SPY at the end of the day. That's what I played. I didn't call anything today because I wanted to see what the market was doing, to be more comfortable tomorrow on which path are we going to take, because we're starting a very complicated momentum with the important earnings like Tesla and everything tomorrow. So I didn't want it to speculate, so I kept quiet today. I was just getting a feeling of the market, and I loved it because I really wanted SPY to go above 500 again, but we're not yet there. We broke it, we looked above, and we're not there. So, but what happened to you here? Look, how do I start this chart? I will put my overnight high, overnight low, yesterday high of the day, which is up there, so I don't care because it's out of my range, and my low of the day is here, that I don't care because it's out of my range. So I just care about this. And if we open in the 5 minutes, it's telling me, look how it opened. Remember that the red ones start from the bottom, from the top, and it closed at the bottom. So it started green, and it was a faked out. It faked out and closed right here. But
that was the first one that I had for my put, and then everything else just went sideways.
Perfect. But look what the candle told us. You jumped right here on a green nothing, because this is a 5 minute that you had no clue what happened. So if you jumped here and you grabbed the scalp they put right on top and surfed it all the way here, you should have jumped out right away. This is think or swim on Schwab. But you see, like this one here, you should be completely out right there, because what happened and why I was telling Gail about what happened on the next candle. We remember that these ones we enter up, and we know now that we close on the bottom. So what happened on the next candle? You saw that we came down here, and you thought that this was red, and we just went until here, and the bulls stepped in all the way here, and look at this candle. Boom, it went all the way here. So it sort of invalidated the body here, but it was not strong enough. So we closed here, but this candle was the one that killed you. This one here started right here, and look at the strength of this candle. Not doubt that how do we, went all the way up on these two candles, and then we touch the level perfectly. This is like a little tweezer, we can call it, sort of. Touch it again we switched to the next one. We never broke it. And when you see the body coming down like that, and the next one opening here, this is puts right away. So you took the too early of a trade to know which trend we were going. And that's something that you gotta be really careful when we trade at open. Like Flips, he has his magic on how to jump in and try to be correct in which way he goes. That's super difficult. I'm not pretty good at. Sometimes when I follow, I just follow him, but I don't know how to do it. For me, for me, to be completely honest, I rather that this and this happens, and I expected this move. Because now, I have the on my RR, depending if I don't play like Flip that he buys and he scalps like 10 contracts in this move and he's done, and I want to wait until here, I can grab my 3 contracts here. I set up my 10% my stop loss up here, and I grab here when I'm around this area, and I touch VWAP, I sell one of my contracts, I move my stop losses to here. I will try to ride through all this noise, and I will sell into my next level, my next one, and I move my stop loss to here, somewhere around here, and then this is a freebie. Doesn't matter where it goes, I just move the stop loss and I just take it out. If it touches here, I'm out around this area here. That's it. But I rather do this and wait with patience that we have this break instead of trying to jump here and try to be lucky, because I don't know what's going to happen. That's what I'm waiting for. Sometimes, like, this is not a good example, because sometimes what happens is that they open, it will be like right here within the level, crossing with a trend, and you say like, this is the perfect breakup of a trend. And you will be like, this is no brainer. But visually you will see it. But here we're in the middle of a range. My levels are here. I try not to jump, try not to trade if I'm not either here or here. So if I'm in between, I don't know. Why? Because
No, that makes sense.
if I go to my 1 hour, look where we were. Why am I gonna jump here if we're coming down all the way here? So we could have go completely down all the way or not. So I will wait, see what happened here. And what will be perfect? I was expecting that we had a little push higher here to play puts again. That was my expectation, but it went all the way here now only. Because normally this is what we happen. And then tomorrow it's gonna be, now between today and tomorrow, what we're gonna expect is on the 1 hour, what happened with this level? Are we gonna hold it? Are we gonna hold above? Or are we gonna go below? That's the only thing that I care about in AMD for tomorrow. So in my levels, this level right now is red. So I will put my red level right here for tomorrow. I extend my red level here. And this is just, I just like it visually to know where I'm seeing a little of resistance. And my green will be my support. So now I know that if I see more noise around here, I'm not playing anything because I'm not quite sure. But if I see a little move up high, another high, and staying here, I might be risking to grab a call and see if we jump. And we jump to either this level or this level. But I need to see what's going to happen on this quarter here, which is the pre-market. Because look what happened here. Even here, we went down, broke down, and then we have a gap up. And this gap up never told you we're going to go down all the way. We touched, but this is a strong movement up. And it maintained. So now I'm curious to see if we're going to go back to trade on this area here. But my candles are telling me, you see how strong this move was, how strong this reversal, even though it's red, it went all the way up. So now you'll be able to do that. Like, I like if you go to the 1 hour and you can, when you're making your levels, I will adjust them. You see, this is my yesterday high of the day. Now that's going to be today. So my yesterday high of the day, it's down here. My overnight high will be somewhere around here. I have to see where we open. Where is my other level? It should be down here. This level is going to be down here, and this level is going to be whatever the low of the pre-market is going to be, somewhere around here. And I'll wait, and I will see what my levels are and what my candles are telling me to see if I'm going to jump in any calls around this area, or are we coming down to my next level? Do you see it, Bobby? Different?
Yeah,
now?
no, that makes so much more sense, and it explains a lot on why, like, everything that I placed today, everything went the opposite way.
I'm drawing on my thing. It's funny. I'll take the drawings afterwards. Any more questions, guys, on levels? Any other name that you would like to see how it reacted of today? Because here it's pretty clearly what the levels were and what happened to you in the morning. Anyone else, guys? You have open mics, please.
Everything looks good, Empanada.
Who's this one? Rudy?
Yeah.
What's up, Rudy? Yeah, I mean, that's what I got for you today, guys. Like, this is the questions that I wanted to see. We can go to, I don't know what other names we traded actively today. Oh, let's go to XOM. I like XOM. Look at this beauty. See how.
Really, really good class. I don't know why people don't show up to this great class.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. Sharp, TD Ameritrade and Think or Swim just give you the chance to do the charts this way, and it's a little bit helpful.
Hey, can you explain something to me just to kind of clarify for the SMAs? Can you know, I'm still trying to learn those as well and get more familiar with them, being able to put them into practice to identify multiple markers. But with the SMAs, can you kind of just go through them again? Like this chart's perfect for that because it's a little bit more open. But how do you read those to determine, like you mentioned earlier when you were looking at SPY and you were talking about how it went underneath until it crossed at a certain point, and then you know it was going to turn and go down. So you were looking at puts. Like, can you kind of go in a little bit more in depth on those?
Well, normally when we play the indicators, there is a common, the indicators are I set with time and where the price repeated on certain time. When you have an exponential, it will tell you at the 9 minutes, at the 21 minutes, at the 50 minutes, at the VWAP works a little different. So when you see when we have a XOM, like kind of in which level are they trading, you use this as a reference. You see the 9, it's a little bit too in the middle.
Right.
One. But then the blue one, the 21, it's pretty nice. I know that when it touches here and it separates, that we are overextended. So we got to be careful. Normally, when it's very extended from an indicator, you have to trim and start selling because the indicators tend to reach back. And that means there's a pullback. So you could have served this all the way here and ride this trade, but this was a good trim level when you are extended. And then when you touch back, you should be out already somewhere here, or you can be out here because we're still going up. So if it touches down and we're still turning up, you're down. But normally when it crosses one on top of the other, what happening with the price is we're seeing when you were here and you see this indication here is an indication, it's a confirmation that we're coming down. So you could have grabbed anywhere here, puts, and this is a confirmation that this thing was coming down. Somewhere around here, you gotta be careful, and then your next hold, you can say that it wasn't VWAP. Remember that these are indicators that are not exact, but these are trends that
kind of like a guideline
to guide themselves. So it's interesting. I think we're gonna do another class where we're gonna explain different with the SMAs, the dailies, because as I said, my normal chart will look like this. This is my normal chart. And I will go here at the 2 minutes because I like to see in detail what's happening with all this. So I will go like something like this while I'm trading because I want to really see where are we. And then on this one, I just want to know in reference of previous levels, look what happened on this one that made me also jumped in. On my larger time frame, this, I always preach a lot about these dailies SMAs. Look at how nice, if you go to the 4 hour, look at how we resisted. This is a trend upward on XOM. We broke it, but look where we resisted. This is the 20 daily SMA. I use these just for longer time frames, but we resisted, and then bounce back. 4 hours, 30 minutes. Look how we hold it. And then 5 minutes, look where we went down. And when this crossed this way here, I got into calls automatically. I'm into calls and I'm still on my calls. I trim and I'm on a couple of 2 more for tomorrow that I expect, since we respected this level, to go from here, break this high and keep going high. But, and if you wanna, we wanna see the candles, look at this candle. we opened this candle here, we tried to go up, it broke all the way down, not strong enough to break it, then we went down. This was a red candle when it opened. Remember, red candle when it opened, and then boom, huge resistance, and this open, it went all the way here, open above my indicator, went a little down, half of the candle, and when the body start forming here, this is my indication that, I mean, this is a strong reversal. Boom. And I don't care about this one here. Look how this was just a huge one. So this plus my level helped me decide that I needed to jump there, and I can follow what's happening now with the candles, my indicators, and my levels.
This is great.
Yeah, that helped
Do
out a
you,
lot.
do you see a different now, Bobby? That's why I like
Oh
to,
yeah.
I like to divide my longer term. So I normally have like 2 days here because I need to locate myself. Where are we with respect to yesterday? So I know that Friday or Monday we were here, and last Friday, and now we're here. So that means that we broke a block upstairs, and I want to see if we stay above this area to start trading. And now here, now we moved down, so we're moving up. Nice. And here I see my detail view. So if I go to my trade and I go to my flex grid, this is how I will have sometimes my 5 minutes when I'm getting into the position. I will go to my 2 minutes here, and this is where I have my my sort of active trader. And just to show you how else do I have it, so you have a better idea. This is where I can actively trade, but I'm going to show you my other screen. So you see what's happening. I always share the other one so people get a glimpse. This is my other screen.
Let me ask you something. With the options, so I just switched over from Robinhood a couple weeks ago, and so I'm getting a lot better with Thinkorswim, which is I'm glad I changed. But the one problem that I still have is when you switch over the active trader to the options, it switches it to the option contract price, obviously, but then it takes it away from the actual share price. So it's kind of hard to know what price you're actually getting into unless you go back to the trade tab and then enter it in there. So I'm completely confused on how to do that efficiently. So for like example, I haven't really followed any, like I've got
This.
on VC,
Let's say
but
that, let's say that you have this, and we're gonna open this, and I see the prices right here.
yep.
I got my prices, I got this, and I got my, are you gonna let me do this? Let me shrink this a little. And I got my products, I got this here.
Right.
So what's your problem here?
So, okay, so all right. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being as efficient as possible, because that's what I've been doing, is just going to this tab, grabbing the strike price that I wanted, whether it was the put or the
You
call, and then I would
right
just
click and send
send
it to any of your
Yep,
numbers, right?
okay. That's exactly what I do. All
Okay,
right.
you have another way to do it if you want to. If you go here and you're in your flexible grid, and you can jump here to options.
Yep.
And when you jump to options here and you click Tesla, I got
Perfect.
everything right here. You can click it. You can, again, let's add 14.
Sure.
I got the prices. I got everything right here. And when I click, it's right there. It's gonna be
Perfect.
right there. So you don't need to jump to the other one. You can just see it here. And when you see it here, you're gonna see your prices and everything moving here too.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, no, that helps.
So it's just a quick sort of what we do normally is when I go to the trade, I look which contract do I want to jump in. I right click and set it up to my second screen. So my second screen is already with the contracts that I want to trade. And
Got
after
it.
that, I just manage the amount of
Okay.
contracts that I'm in. And once I jumped into 10, I just start clicking automatically sell 3, sell 3, sell 2, sell 1. That's normally how I go. Out of 10, I will sell 3, 3, 3, 1, or 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, something like that.
Right. So here's another thing too. Sorry if I'm like asking a lot of questions on
Oh,
this,
if
but
anyone,
so
if anyone
so
else
like
wants to
on so like
jump
right
in, jump
here,
in.
like on the screen that you're on right now, it's perfect because it gives you the option to, if I want to buy a put or buy a call, and then you
Yeah.
get the pricing and it works out perfect. However, when I'm on Active Trader, it gives me different prices. Um, they're not the same. So like if like right where you're at right now, if I was to buy do a put
If I
on the
if,
ask,
if I want to do a ask on a call right now, it is 560 right here.
right?
If I were to send this to my 7, let's say, I will do it like this. I will send this to my 7, and then when I go to my chart, I got my prices right here.
So the one thing that I'm confused on though is I get that part, but the one thing that I'm being mindful of too is I need to make sure that I'm not getting over my head in losses just in case I do make a bad trade. So I don't have auto send on. So I still make sure that I confirm and then send it. So when I do that, it says like, okay, your max profit is, $200, but your loss is unlimited, which doesn't make any sense to me. Or your profit, or like it's always reverse. So like if I do a ask order, it says your profit is going to be, $200, but your loss is going to be unlimited. But if I was to go do the same thing on the trade grid and whatever, it would give me, okay, well, your profit's going to be 14,000 and your max loss is going to be the, $555. So
Well,
that's
the only advantage that here is every time that you buy a call or a put, your maximum loss is gonna be whatever you put in the premium that you pay on the premium.
correct.
So
Correct.
the difference that you have is like, the price that you're paying here is the premium, and if you're not leaving it up, if you're not selling a option that you don't have, and that thing start going crazy, then you will have to add money, and that's gonna be
Right.
huge. But if you're buying a call and you're using, the certain amount of premium, the max amount of loss that you're gonna have is just the premium that you have. Same with the put if you're buying it, but you got to be careful not to sell a put or sell a call, because if this thing's going up or down, then it's a different story. So
Okay, that makes sense.
So the difference is when you buy it, and you got to be careful when you sell it. So
Gotcha.
that's why
That makes sense.
So, and sometimes it happens. I'm clicking like crazy here, and sell, and then all of a sudden when I see I have a contract that is -3, and I'm like, fuck, why do I have -3? Oh, I overclick, damn it. And you have to be pretty fast and going back to your monitor to see where your positions are, because you got to be one of the second thing what it's really important is that you always have to know how to manage your positions. You got to be aware. Did I like what happened? I said it. I don't know if you were here at that time, but like a month ago or 2 months ago, I forgot about a spy call that I had. I forgot. I was in like 7 different trades, and it was a spy call that it closed in the money for that day.
Oh,
And I got the contract. I got all the, at the end of the day when I started in the next morning, I see that I have minus, I don't know what was like $50,000. And I'm like, oh shit. Like I bought 100 shares of SPY at, I don't know, $450 or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was lucky enough that I wake up like really early in the morning. I jump into my computer and I said, I see how the market's open, and SPY, you can trade it as soon as the market is open, and SPY went up. So I actually made $70 out of that trade, but it was a huge mistake. But because what happened if the market would have gone down, it could have been a loss, like, huge loss. So you
right.
always have to manage your trades. Remember to close your positions. You got to be really careful on not leaving anything open that you don't want to get executed.
No,
I
that
think
helps. That makes sense.
I think
I
that's
appreciate it.
the best advice that I can give on that. But you can paper trade and get used to using your active trade, because there are many things that I also say here. Like I don't know if you know, but if you jump here when it says the template, you have these options. This is triggered with brackets.
Oh yeah. I've watched so many YouTube videos and then the training videos from Schwab, and
Yeah.
I'm all versed in that. It's just getting the practice in with it and just
Well,
becoming
the
just
big
the
advantage,
repetition.
the big advantage of this is that you can jump with one click when you have this, and you can
Yeah,
just
those are really nice.
you can change here a percentage, and when if you're trying to jump into something, you can just change right away. When you click buy, it's gonna give you the stop loss. So we can set this at 5% right away, and this is gonna be 0.5, and then this one is gonna be, I want it at 25%, no matter what happens. I want to take my trade. So once you click, whatever the price you're thinking that you're getting in, it's gonna take automatically profits at 25%, and if anything goes wrong at 0.50%, it's gonna take you out of that position. So you don't even need to chase it or do anything else.
Yep. Nope. That makes sense. This has
Yeah.
been a great training. I appreciate it.
That's fairly easy. So this is just for like people to know how to use this. But sometimes when you're learning, it helps you on how to use it. Any other
Man,
questions, guys?
I put in the profit and loss column like you have, or the P&L open on the far right. I have it right next to the price, so I can I'm eye hawking my profit or losses, so I don't take too much of a loss. But it works out well. So
I
it's
will
cool.
advise you, don't do that, because what you're missing there is being aware if you trade it,
That's a
if
good
you
call.
took the right trade and if you're getting out on the right side. Because if you're just looking at the money, sometimes the trade is great, but it didn't pay enough, or you're trying to make up or trying to push the trade more than what you need for.
That's a good call.
So I don't look at my P&L. I look at after the fact. I mean, I know the percentage, and I try to respect where I need to go, and I have it on one side, but I don't really look at that much. I
Okay.
care to be correct on what I'm doing.
I think that was another reason, one of my other reasons for my downfalls today, in the trades. That makes sense, because that's all I was staring at after I had placed them, was that
And
P&L
more,
open.
and more if you're down, if you're $200 down for the day, you're trying to revenge trade that $200 in anything. You're trying to look for any trade, try to, get those 200 back. And then you're trying to actually squeeze every trade that you have instead of, sometimes you don't pay attention to that and you make $10 here, 20 here, 30 here, and then everything start adding up because you're looking at the right things. So you have to take away the feelings of that loss. And you said, I just took a cheap trade and I lost because I didn't cut at the right time. That's it. Let's do better on the next one and move on.
Nope, 100% right. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? It was an awesome class. Useful explained. Thank you, SK. Anyone else? All right, guys. So,
Thank you, Empanada.
Yeah, pleasure like always. Thank you for giving me the company here on my little session at night with the basics of candlesticks. If you have any more questions or any doubts, DM me, please. And have a great time. And I have a question for whomever is left here. Do you guys prefer 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 or 7 to 8? Is there any hours that you rather be here?
8 to 9, I guess it's fine.
Everyone likes 8 to 9?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, 8 p.m. for me, not 9. Okay, 8 p.m. I have a class at 9. All right, 8 p.m. it is. Perfect, guys. Can you share the script that the SMAs in your tab? I don't have a script. It's just I can show you which ones I'm in. These are the SMAs that I'm in on my smaller tab is exponential 50, 9, and 21. The exponentials. That's the main things that I use. And on my larger or bigger time frame, I use the dailies SMAs, which are different. Dailies SMAs. All right. Perfect, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for the company. And if any more questions, just let me know, okay?
You too, Empanada. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.